Hello friend, welcome to the channel Pharmacy Dictionary. In today's video lecture, we are going to discuss about some basic and important contribution of different pioneer scientists for the betterment of pharmacology. Pharmacology is an important branch of medical science which gives us complete information regarding drugs effect on body as well as body response for the drug. That is why it becomes very important. Now pharmacology can be classified into two main parts, ancient pharmacology and the modern pharmacology. There are so many scientists which gave their contribution for the development as well as for the betterment of pharmacology. Out of them, only few are known and most of them are not yet understand or not yet known, and we do not know about their contribution. So first of all, in this video I will try to explain the great contribution of few scientists so that you may or we may understand the contribution of that particular scientist for the betterment of pharmacology. Let's start the topic, that is historical landmark in development of pharmacology. In this lecture video, I would like to start with the contribution of Sir Ostwald. He is known as a founder of modern pharmacology, or we can say he is a father of experimental pharmacology. As I said you earlier, modern pharmacology is a branch of pharmacology which utilizes different tools and techniques. In modern pharmacology, maximum experimental sections are done to confirm the experimental methodology or to confirm the effect of any drug for any particular disease or disorder by performing it on experimental animal. That is why the experimental pharmacology is very important aspect or field in pharmacology apart from the theoretical pharmacology. He has given so many contributions in the field of pharmacology, out of which only few are listed in this whiteboard. First of all, this is studied the estimation of chloroform in blood. Now we have to understand what is the chloroform and why it is used for. Chloroform is an example of general anesthetic. Now what is general anesthetic? Do not panic, do not worry. This general anesthetic topic will be discussed later on, but I will going to explain you in a short brief definition. General anesthetics are those agents or those chemicals which are used to block the sensation of pain for short term being, and the process of blocking pain is reversible. That means that may be recovered after some time. That is why it is very important. But in case of general anesthetic, there are some potent drug which can use solely, but in case of chloroform, it is not used as a single drug. It has to be combined with other drug, or it has to be used as a maintenance purpose only. But if you taking chloroform in any of the form, either for general anesthetic or by accidentally or just by from accidental basis, the chloroform will reach to the blood, and he estimated the amount of chloroform present in the blood of that particular person or patient in case of general anesthetic. So one of the great contribution in case of experimental pharmacology was done by Sir Ostwald. Now coming to the second contribution, there are so many contributions, but we have listed only few of them. Second one is said hypnotic effect of urea derivative as well as a paraldehyde. What is hypnotic? Another term is hypnotic, and we will see this sedative hypnotic in detail in later on or later semester. Hypnotics means those drugs which can cause sleep or which can cause calmness along with the sleep. So hypnotic is very important in case of central nervous system drug affecting. So he has given that urea derivative and few paraldehyde can possess the hypnotic activity, so that they may or they may not be, depending upon the case to case, depending upon the circumstances, as a hypnotic agent which will be act on central nervous system as CNS depression category. Now coming to the next contribution, the primary action of digitalis on the heart muscle. This is very important because we have to study it in the next semester. So he given the important theory understanding point of view, the mechanism of action of digitalis. What is digitalis again? Digitalis is a plant obtained drug that is also called as a cardiac glycoside. Cardiac glycoside means digitalis is example of glycoside. The chemical nature of digitalis is glycoside, but that glycoside is very much potent for the cardiac action point of view. That is why its name indicate cardiac glycoside. And if any person or patient having problem as congestive heart failure, in short it is written as a CHF, then this cardiac glycoside or digitalis is used for the treatment of that particular problem. So the effect of digitalis as a cardiac muscle contraction agent was given by Sir Ostwald, and this is really, trust me, this is one of the important effect of digitalis which is being used for the treatment of CHF right now. Coming to the next contribution, the central and peripheral effect effect of caffeine was also given by Sir Oswald by doing so many experiments on different types of experimental animal. In central nervous system, there are so many drugs which act, but in case of peripheral system, there are some drugs which act and which may not act, but there are few drugs which act on central and peripheral as well in accordingly proportion. So he has given a theory and he also practically proved that there are some central as well as peripheral effect of caffeine. If we go for the central activity of caffeine, we will find central nervous system stimulant. And what is caffeine? Is example of CNS stimulant. Means if a person is having some kind of sedation or some kinds of lethargy or some kind of depression, if he or she will take caffeine, like it is found in a coffee also, coca bean also, then he will feel some kind of stimulant activity, and that activity after performing experimental on experimental animal was given by Sir Oswald only. This is one of the important theory as CNS stimulant, and it can also be seen on peripheral effect, but it case vary upon the type of experimental. In small dose or in therapeutic dose, caffeine will give desirable effect, but if you increase the effect of caffeine for 5 to 6 cup of coffee per day, then you will get another unwanted effect both on central as well as on peripheral nervous system. Your hand will be like shaking if you take excess amount of caffeine, either in form of coffee or any other form it is available for. Coming to the next contribution in field of pharmacology, that was Henry Dell. He was also one of the important scientists who gave almost his life for the development of pharmacology. He has given so many contributions, out of which first is isolation, or he isolated the neurotransmitter. Example of that particular neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. That means he discovered the acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. Now in this contribution we have two new words and we have to understand this basic word meaning. The first one is neurotransmitter and the second one is, that's example, acetylcholine. So let's understand what is a neurotransmitter. In this word we have to break it. First one is neuro, the second one is trans, and the third one is meter. That means a chemical which is used to carry the signal molecule, which carry to transfer the message molecule from one part of the nerve to the another nerve. That's called neurotransmitter. It is a chemical which is present in our body as abundant amount and that get released or secreted as per the circumstances, as per the stimulus we received. So he has discovered this neurotransmitter, that means acetylcholine. Coming to the next one, he was first to identify histamine in animal tissue. Now it is an important contribution in allergic study point of view. What he has done is he identified histamine. What is histamine? Histamine is a local hormone, and the local hormone is also called as or known as autocoids. These are hormones which are available, which are present, which are secreted, which act and which get destroyed on a particular or restricted part of our body. Suppose in this place of my hand some insect bites, then the histamine will release from this particular part and this may cause rashes or some kind of allergic response, and that was discovered by Sir Henry. Coming to the next contribution, histamine physiological effect that give allergic and hypersensitivity reaction. This is the further continuation of that particular part. Means if he isolated the histamine from animal tissue, then he postulated the effect of histamine on physiological point of view. So he gave the information that histamine may cause allergic and hypersensitivity reaction. Both are same but slightly different. Allergic means any condition which is triggered by your body's bodyguard, that is antibody. So any agent, any chemical, anything which comes from outside and enters to the body, that is considered as an antigen. So antigen antibody interaction may converted into allergy, and hypersensitivity means sensitivity is okay but it is hyper means more sensitivity. So this is called hypersensitivity, and these two are directly related with the histamine. Now coming to the next contribution, that is Paul Ehrlich. He is considered as a father of chemotherapy and he worked on the cancer. What is the chemotherapy? Chemotherapy is made up of two words as we discussed in the first lecture. Chemo means chemical and therapy means utilization of that particular chemical for the treatment of some disease or disorder. In case of antimicrobial agent, this will act as an antibiotic, but in case of cancer, that will act as an anti-cancer agent. So the Paul Ehrlich was worked on anti-cancer activity of different agents. He worked on the cancer chemotherapy so that any person who is suffering from cancer may get relief from that. Next contribution was Sir Alexander Fleming. He was one of the most important scientists in the field of pharmacology as well as in the case of microbiology. He discovered so many things, but out of which the pharmacology point of view, microbiology point of view, the discovery of penicillin was one of the most important discovery, because you know it very well, penicillin is example of antibiotic. That antibiotic is most potent, most effective and less having side effect. So this is best contribution in the field of microbiology as well as pharmacology. But do you know the discovery of penicillin was not intentionally, that was accidentally, and he discovered penicillin unknowingly. That is called serendipity. That means a discovery which was not aimed, that was taken place accidentally, called serendipity. Coming to the next one, that is Selman A. He discovered the streptomycin in 1943. This could be an important question for your GPAT or other pharmacist exam also. He discovered streptomycin. Streptomycin is also another important antibiotic. Now he also isolated the actinomycin. He doesn't stop on case of streptomycin. He works continuously to discover many more antibiotics. Now finally he discovered actinomycin, streptothericin and neomycin. The last contribution for this whiteboard section is James Blair. He discovered the beta blocker. Now the important discovery in pharmacology is beta blocker or beta receptor blocker, we can say. Beta blocker are those drugs which block the beta receptor, which block the beta adrenergic signal to be bind on beta receptor, so that we can stop the action of beta adrenergic drug or beta adrenergic signal molecule. So beta blocker are basically used in case of cardiovascular system. If we want to control or reduce the hypertension of any particular patient, we will have to give him beta blocker. But in case of asthma, we can also give beta agonist, but those cases are so different and we will see it later on in upcoming lectures. So friend, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to download this video in a lecture form, in a PDF form, then please go to the description box. There is a link for download of different notes. The procedure of complete download process is available on the description box. Thank you very much for watching this video. Namaskar, and please do take care of yourself. Thank you again.